I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV. Today we're talking about human behavior and why if you become a student of it, you'll become more successful and less stressed. Are you ready? Let's get started. I've long been a proponent of the importance of learning for us as leaders. In fact, in my book, Remarkable Leadership, I stated that and wrote a chapter about the need for leaders to be continual learners. So the things that we can learn and need to learn and can get better at as a leader is a long, long list. We could talk about that for a long time. In fact, pretty much everything I've ever recorded on a Remarkable TV episode would be on that list. Perhaps, though, the biggest thing that we ought to be a student of and learning about as a leader is human behavior. Fact: humans are messy, unpredictable, weird, bizarre, crazy, and amazing, and wonderful, and astounding too. Fact: humans, in all of their messiness, are the people that we're leading. So as leaders, given those two facts, it should be pretty straightforward for us to realize that, hey, if we're in the people business, we ought to be studying those people and learning more about human behavior. So what I've got for you today is 5 things that you can do to be a better student of human behavior. Are you ready? Here we go. The first one is study your own team. Study your team specifically. Here's the thing. If you've got 5 people that work for you, you need to be experts on those people. Now, they're still going to surprise you. They're still going to be unpredictable. You're not going to always know. But the more time that you spend not only getting to know them interpersonally, that's a different conversation. It's an important one, but a different conversation. I'm talking now about what are their tendencies, what are their patterns, what are their hot buttons, what are the things that motivate them, what are their most effective ways to communicate, what works with them. Be a student of them. As you get to know them specifically, you'll be able to lead them more effectively. Secondly, study human behavior more broadly. Now, I'm not talking about your team, your division, or your company, but the human condition. And we can study the human condition through our own observation, be more observant of the people around you. Sitting in an airport, observe. Sitting in a restaurant, observe. Walking through Disney World, observe. There's opportunities to think about and observe human behavior and learn from it. But we can also study human behavior from reading. I'm not suggesting we need to become a psychologist, and I'm not talking about academic stuff, but I am saying that there's a whole wide variety of books and resources that we can use to learn more about how humans respond, how humans react in certain situations. And while it's going to be different for different people, we can come up with some patterns, and which leads us to the third point, which is that we need to look for patterns. As we start to study the human condition and the human behavior models, we start to see patterns. And while it won't be perfect, and it's not going to come out the same every time, we can begin to get better odds going our way when we look for patterns and notice what happens in certain kinds of situations. Number 4, we need to recognize the messiness. Yep, we're not going to find a certain technique that's going to work every time because people are messy. And so we've got to recognize the messiness, and we've got to spend time thinking about, okay, if this is what's going to happen next, what might people do and why might they respond that way? You're not going to be able to come up with an exact answer. But if you think about it a while and you've been a good student of human behavior, you might be able to narrow it down to here's one of the 5 or 6 things they're going to do or say, and then you can be better prepared for one of those things. Recognize the messiness. And number 5, be Sherlock Holmes. Like, this sort of pulls some of the others together, but if I'm getting ready to interact with a certain person, I'm going to be looking for clues like Sherlock Holmes to help me make better choices, to help me respond in better ways. Being a student of human behavior is more than just studying it. It's putting it to use. So as leaders, we've got to stop looking for the perfect answer and start looking for clues and patterns and using the principles that we learn in order to improve our odds to get better success more often. Let me close us with today's tweet. Perhaps the most important subject a leader could study is human behavior. Always remember that you are leading humans. And as you study them and understand their behavior better, you will be more successful, and so will they. Do you struggle to provide feedback and coaching to underperformers and problem employees? Is change hard for you to implement, draining the motivation and focus of your team? Do you struggle to communicate effectively with the diverse and sometimes challenging personalities within your organization? If you are a leader looking for a chance to learn more in a supportive and collaborative environment, this is your chance. The Remarkable Leadership Workshop is a powerful 2-day learning experience that combines proven, practical approaches with the chance for peer interaction to help you master effective leadership. If you're serious about your future and you're ready to learn how to communicate more assertively, delegate more effectively, and lead more successfully, join us for an upcoming session. Click on the link below to learn how you can become the leader you were born to be.